Good morning, y'all. Happy, beautiful Saturday. It is Saturday, February the 5th. Welcome back. Of course, this is a day that we're going to be learning how to make something that I make here at my own home. So today is a chocolate cake day. So we are making chocolate cake this morning, and I have my little recipe and ingredients not only here in front of me, but I've also put it below in the description box. Okay. Got to get my little tech together. So let me do a little bit of fixing some lighting and then I will be right with you. As y'all already know, if you have anything to say, please be sure to add it, put it down in the chat box, y'all. It's been a great week. It's been a great productive week. Definitely been busy, but handling business. And you know how that goes. When business is being handled, it's like, you know what? At least I was getting it done, right? At least I was getting it done. Okay, so I think that's a little bit better. All right then, y'all. So on this Saturday, as I said, we're going to be making chocolate cake. The ingredients is in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. So first thing is I'm going to go ahead and sift in for this particular cake just because I want it to be really creamy, really smooth. I want it to be very special. It's Valentine's. Also, happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to everybody. Of course, I celebrate Black History 365 days, 366 if it's a leap year. However, I get it. You know, it's Black History Month and it's time to celebrate Black History this month as well worldwide. So with that being said, I'm making chocolate cake, and this chocolate cake is a very special chocolate cake. It is kind of like a Valentine's Day special cake. I made this in the fall, and chocolate cake is something that growing up we had a lot in my family. However, we're really more of, if you want to impress us, do the German chocolate cake. You know, I ain't there yet. I'm working on it. Right now, I got this chocolate cake recipe. The ingredients is below, and let's go ahead and get this started. So I'm going to go ahead and sift in my flour. I'm going to do 1.5 cups of my all-purpose flour here. And I'm just going to sift in all of my dry ingredients. This here is also my cocoa. This is 3/4 cups of my cocoa powder here. And I'll just go ahead and sift that right in. And then when you sift it in, you don't get any of those like little crumbs, you know. Sometimes you'll get those little crumbs. Hopefully y'all can see that. May have to move my camera. Okay. And what I'm doing right now is just sifting in the rest of my ingredients. Yes, but just kind of pushing it through the sieve with my hands and my fingers. All right, that's not it for my dry ingredients. I also have my sugar here on the side. And this is actually 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. So I'm just sifting in my sugar too. It goes in real quick, real smooth. Once again, any lumps that I have, I'm just pushing it through the sieve. All right. It also calls for 1/2 tablespoon of baking soda. I'm just going to push that through the sieve too. I'm going to stay consistent with it all. And then I also have my baking powder, which is 3/4 teaspoons. Just trying to get everything in there. When I'm baking, y'all, I do try to make it as perfect and as close to the recipe as possible because that always seems to be and work the best. Okay. So I put my sieve to the side Now that I've done that, it's time for me to put all of my dry things. I'm just gonna put this just to the side here now that I've kind of sifted that. Move some of my stuff out the way. Let me go ahead and add my wet ingredients here. So our wet ingredients calls for 3 medium eggs. I get one more. This is gonna make it super fluffy. Okay. I also have my 1/4 cup here of my oil. I'm gonna do 1/2 cup of, this is heavy cream. Not all of it, but at least 1/2 of it there. And then I have about a cup here of warm water. All right. So I'm gonna mix in all of my wet ingredients. I'm just gonna use a whisk. I'm just whipping it, whipping it, whipping it, whipping it. Whipping all of it together here. Including getting my egg yolks, everything all piled up. I hope y'all got a lot of great things planned for this beautiful holiday weekend. It's also the Winter Olympics. I say holiday weekend, but it's the Olympics. You know, Winter Olympics has kicked off. Shout out to everybody that is participating in the Winter Olympics. A lot of stuff growing on right there. I'm now gonna just kind of dip into my dry ingredients, and then I'm just gonna add it into my wet, right? Because y'all know that's kind of how I like to do it. I just feel like it just comes out really good that way, right? And now I'm just gonna grab my spatula. I'm just a spatula. Boom. I don't know where that came from. Let's mix this stuff together, y'all. So I love chocolate cake. Chocolate cake is such a delicacy. It always tastes so good, so rich. Just looking over here to the side, making sure that there's nobody in the box, chatting live. All right. And now add more of my dry ingredients. The cocoa, y'all, makes it smell so good. I almost licked the batter, but I'm gonna wait until I get at least all the ingredients mixed in. Sometimes you just gotta taste the batter to make sure that it tastes good, right? That's what we're here for. Okay, just adding in the last little bit of my dry ingredients. I really at first wanted to use Ruby, which is my KitchenAid mixer, but this is such a light, delicate cake that you don't need a KitchenAid mixer that powerful. And notice I said you don't need it. You can do what you want. Okay, it's your kitchen. It's your kitchen. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you what mixer to use. It's your kitchen. Shin. Okay, I'm getting all silly. As you know, I'm just kind of scraping the edges of the bowl so that I can get all of the ingredients mixed together right there with our batter. It smells so chocolatey, so delicious. And I also like this recipe because it's very, it's a small recipe too. So it's great for like, a couple of people or one person and share. So I'm just gonna make, yes, a chocolate cake, but I'm gonna layer it into my 2 pans. Get all of it. We don't want to miss nada, baby. Nothing. We don't want to miss a fun. Yes, yes, and yes, and yes, and yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. You may be able to hear my little jazz music over on the side because I love to have a little bit of the jazz. I love jazz, y'all. But right before the pandemic, for maybe about a month, maybe 2 months, I did like a little internship at a radio station where I got to sit in with um, a very talented radio personality with extensive training. He was actually the original Bozo the Clown. Okay, so I got to sit in with him, and we just he told me a little bit about the industry and just radio. And so, in addition to my experience in Pensacola, I got some more experience, but it was at a different genre of a radio station. So, yeah, it was also public radio. And public radio is a lot different from, other radio stations. NPR. I love NPR. I do. I like to listen to NPR. It's just their style. Okay, so with that being said, let me go ahead and grab my pans on the side. I'm gonna make this a layered chocolate cake, and then any extra batter that I have left over, I'm gonna use that for these little bundt cake tins that I have. Okay, I gotta butter them first. And another trick is instead of using flour to coat the bottom, I'm actually gonna use cocoa. So I'm gonna put this here, grab my butter. And I also gotta grab my cocoa too. Okay, so I have my, okay, so this is my butter, y'all, that I have like just melted. And I know these tins look a little rough, but that means that I'm using them often and all the time, okay? And I'm just lining this with butter that I've melted on the stove. And when I say melted, not like I actually put it on the eye, because I have the oven turned on right now, warming up, getting ready for the cake that we're about to put in. Because I have it there, the top of the stove is typically already warm, so I just put this butter right on top, and it just melted. It just melted every single time, my darling. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of my cocoa inside, just like it's flour, right? Otherwise, you have a chocolate cake with like that little white coating kind of at the top, and that's not, it's not as cute as when it's all chocolat. I'm also gonna just kind of put this over my pan here. Let's move this out the way. Okay, so I'm just moving this over. We got a little gap in the middle. Why don't you just make me in the? So I'm just trying to get that together as much as possible. Alrighty. Okay. Make it enough. So I'm gonna make this enough. Same thing here. I'm just gonna I've coated the bottom already with my butter, and I'm just using my cocoa to go around and butter it as if it is flour. So instead of using flour to coat the bottom, especially when you're making a chocolate cake, like I don't do this for my vanilla cakes. You know what I'm saying? Like I only do this for my chocolate cakes. Okay? So I am just moving in the excess that I might have. All right, and then the rest of it it's done. D-O-N-E. So I have a little part that didn't quite get as much butter and chocolate, but that's fine. I'm gonna use my ice cream scoop, the big one this time, to scoop in to each one. Probably I'm gonna start off with maybe about 3 or 4 scoops and then just kind of even it out for there. But I use this so I can make sure that I'm measuring it exactly the same exact way. Y'all, this is so good. So good. All right. I don't know why I'm playing around with chocolate. Let me taste it though. Ooh. I use a different finger every time, but it's not okay. Let me wash my hands. Don't be doing that. So good though. I want one more, but I'm gonna try to hold it. If I hold my peace and let me put a little stuff in here. Where is my? Oh, there's the butter. Coat that a little bit at the bottom. That's fine. All right. So this is 1 scoop. Okay, my second scoop here. Three. And I'm putting hefty scoops in here. I'm not taking my time. 4. About 5 looks like enough. Okay, so that's in my first pan. That is complete. Now I gotta grab my second pan. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got 1 more. Okay. So since I'm very satisfied, I believe, with kind of like where this is, that was about 5 scoops. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven for about 30-35 minutes. Okay, on 350. Y'all know I love 350. Okay, popping that in the oven. While I pop that in the oven, I'm actually gonna put these in like this little bundt cake pan that I have. So let me grab those. Okay, so I have this one. Let me see what the other ones are. Okay, so I have this one as well. So these are the 2 that I'm actually going to use for this. Let me put some butter around this one, just like I did the other ones. So in and around. And the reason why I'm using this is because, y'all, when you're dealing with like these little bundt cake pans, they have these little creases. You don't get that crease, baby. If you don't get that crease, your cake will let you know. So I also like the way the butter tastes. You can also use oil if you want. I've used oil. the best oil to me, if you're gonna do this with it, is the Crisco oil, without a doubt. And then whatever butter you got, if you just use some butter, you know how to work it. You got to sometimes just use what you got to. Let's be real. Okay, so I think I've buttered it enough. I'm gonna put my butter to the side. Carefully. Then I'm gonna grab my cocoa, so that just as I did my other pan, how I lined it with cocoa at the bottom instead of lining it with flour, I'm gonna do the same thing. You don't need much, probably maybe like a teaspoon, if that, to start off with, maybe 1 or 2. Roll it around, rolling. Y'all remember that? That's old. I don't know why I'm even saying that. I feel like it's from something. Hold up, this one ain't turned out looking like I want to. Why you looking all good and stuff like you do? Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more of our cocoa here. I added a lot of butter, so I'm trying to fix it. Have you ever messed up something when you cook it and you trying to fix it? Anybody? You messed up something while you cooking and you like, woo! Gotta fix it. I gotta fix it. Okay, so this is what we're working with. Okay. Whoops. I almost lost it. I also have a bigger one too. Wait a minute, I didn't set my timer. Let me do that. It's probably been in there at least 5 minutes. So we're gonna put it on 30 minutes. Timer. Since they're so small, I'm actually just gonna put it on about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna check on it. Because I got to check up on it. Ooh, yep, I got to check up on it. Ooh. Yes, I got to check up on it. Yep. Okay. Now, I'm gonna add a scoop in here. Look, kind of minor half a scoop or so. Same thing for this one. Like I said, these are little bundt cakes. And I found these, actually, I think I found them at Ross. So that's where I got these from. Do you love it? I love it. I got it at Ross. They used to be their theme song. This is not a sponsored video, y'all. It's just, I like theme songs, you know. I don't always watch shows, but I love certain theme song shows, even though I don't watch the show. Like Cheers, for example. I used to love Cheers theme song. Sometimes you want to go. Now, I think it's Applebee's that brought it back. And now they got it as kind of like their theme song, almost as Applebee's is trying to relay to the world. Applebee's is the Cheers of America. Is that what y'all doing? If so, it works. Okay, so I put 1 scoop in that one. I'm gonna do a half a scoop here because I think I did 1.5 scoop. I'm gonna try to get rid of the rest of the batter, so I'm gonna try to use the rest of this. It's not that much left. Okay, a little half right here. And if I want to even it out, try to do 1 more little half. Scrape that better. Somebody play baseball, softball. Shout out to the softball, baseball players. I know I've already given a shout out to all the Winter Olympics peeps, but I was listening to an NPR show yesterday, and y'all, how about the Winter Olympics in one of the categories, in several categories, there's opportunities for men to win medals in maybe, let's say, 4 categories, while there may only be 2 categories for women. And so they're fighting to try to fix that. So there's more opportunities for women to win medals. And so They were talking about that on like NPR, and you know what? I didn't even think about that. Still, we are in 2022, and we have so many different discrepancies continuously in our world, in spite of the fact that we know it's a problem, right? Change is slower than we think. We want it to be quick, but child, some change is slower than it need to be. Okay, so now that I have filled this up, both of these, I have used the remainder of my batter for my little 2 bun cakes. I'm now going to also put them in the oven as well. I probably should put something under them. Just so in case they overflow. Just in case. Let me also show y'all the bun. Okay, let me tell y'all. I love this pan when I butter it the right way, because when I don't butter it the right way, when I have any little hole, anything that was missing, it is so hard to get the cakes out of these little bun cakes. But I do love the way they turn out when they turn out really nice. But this is one of those tins that you really have to, or cavities, excuse me, that you really have to butter really well. Really, really well. But it's really nice. You see the back? Yeah, the bundt cakes, when they come out really nice, y'all, they come out so pretty. And now that I have chatted with you all, this is what I actually use typically for pizza. I'm gonna line the bottom of this. For a piece of leftover for it. Okay. And then just pop it in the oven. That's it. That's it. We're just popping this in the oven. Okay. So my other 2 cakes are also in the oven. I'm just kind of gonna put this to the side, let it do its thing, and soak. Just wiping off my countertops, you know, getting everything like fresh and ready, handling the business. Getting everything together. And I think I already shared this with y'all, but this recipe was actually inspired from a recipe that I got online. It was a request that someone asked me to make something for them, so I did. And then I did a little bit of a remix to that recipe. So when you find a good recipe, you really like it, or you want to remix it, remix the recipe. Do not be afraid, my darling. All right, so up next, it's time to make the caramel, because I love to make caramel to just kind of like go in between the 2 bundt cakes, no, the 2 cakes that I have. So I'm actually gonna make some caramel. So I'm gonna go ahead over to the side, and I'm actually gonna put some water up so that it can start to boil. Cheers to y'all and good morning. Forgot to do that. And I also realized that I forgot to actually like tell and explain to you the ingredients and the directions. So let me grab my book so I can do that for y'all. Just looking it up in here for the desserts. Okay, so what you want to do for your chocolate cake, I did let my butter and the eggs that I used for the recipe And we're back. So if you want to use butter instead of oil, you can do that. But what I did was I let my eggs kind of stay out for a little bit. You saw them in that little clear bowl. So I let them kind of stay out for a little bit. And then I also just greased, as you saw, the bottom of my 2 pans that I was using with butter. And then I lined it with the cocoa powder. If you want to also put like wax paper at the bottom, you can also do that. I did not put wax paper at the bottom this go round. I did lightly use the cocoa powder to just flour the bottom. Then in my mixing bowl, of course, I beat all of my ingredients. I sifted in all of my dry ingredients as well. I think that's very important so that you have not as many lumps. Then I gradually just sort of like added my dry ingredients with my wet ingredients. I also used, instead of milk, I actually used some heavy cream. If you want to use milk in place of it, you can. But I will say that it does kind of change the measurements a little bit. Because I used the heavy cream, I did not use as much. So instead of the 3/4 cup of like milk that I would typically use, I think I used like 1/2 cup of the heavy cream. And then I added an additional 1/2 cup of water to just kind of even things out. So mixed all that together, and then I poured it in my pans, and now they're in the oven. I have them baking at 350 degrees. I put my timer on for 35 minutes, but y'all know how I do. I'm going to watch it back and forth. I was actually about to get ready to make some caramel. So that's what I'm actually doing right now. It's just going to kind of take me out of the shot because I'm going to be doing it over here on the side on my stove. So trying to think if there's something else I can do that won't take me out the shot that I can show y'all. But yes, this is my chocolate cake recipe. I need to make some lunch for later on today. I don't even know what I'm actually going to make later on today for lunch. But I do know that next weekend is basically game day weekend. So I will be making some themed stuff around dips and anything that's game day just kind of related. So there's a couple things I'll be making next weekend that's really just going to be, it's going to tie in with all of the games. The Olympic Games is going on. We got the Super Bowl. We got the All-Star game, NBA finals. Sorry, not All-Star game, NBA finals. So it's a lot of stuff that's kind of going on. Yeah, NFL. I guess I should not get on that. Let me not. It's the wrong dish. We're supposed to be making chocolate cake. Chocolate cake is still in the oven. We got about 9 minutes. Let me go ahead and check on that before I start talking about the wrong thing. Y'all, it's looking good. Okay. So, yep, it's looking so good. I wish that you could see it, but you cannot. However, just as a reminder to you, if you're looking for the ingredients for this video, it is located in the description box below. Okay, so I'm also going to go ahead and see if I want to try something out, and I'm just going to try it out in front of y'all. I want to make like a frosting to go on top, but I don't know if I have everything I need, and I want to see if I can substitute something. So in front of y'all, I'm about to do a testing. I'm going to test something out. I might as well. I just do. Okay, so I want to do some frosting just to kind of go on top. So 3/4 cups of my butter. I just snatched this. It was in addition to 3/4 cup right here. Okay, so I'm just putting in here 3/4 cups of butter, and then we're also going to add in some heavy cream. Okay, I'm just gonna do about just a cup. And then we have 3/4 cup of just some cocoa powder. Perfect, because I have this here. And I'm just experimenting. I saw something online. I'm not making it the way they told me to make it, so that's why I'm not sharing the recipe with y'all. But if I'm gonna experiment, I might as well just kind of do it in front of y'all. As a reminder to y'all, I am not a cook that went to school. I am a home cook, so I really do like to experiment, like in the kitchen, sometimes with my own stuff and sometimes with other people's. It also calls for 3.5 to 4 cup of powdered sugar. So I'm gonna grab that as well. It says 3 to 4 cups. Wow, that's a lot. Alrighty. So this is 2 cups. I wonder if I should sift this in too, actually. Just gonna sift. This is my powdered sugar. Just sifting it into the recipe. I'm just trying to make some frosting for my cake. And I'm just experimenting. So this is not something that yes, I Googled this, but I am substituting a couple things. And I just want to see if it's gonna work. And why do it alone? Just, show y'all how I experiment in the kitchen. This is real. This is authentic. See. Let me also not forget about my cake. It says I have 5 minutes left on the timer. Okay, so that was only 2 cups. It says 3 to 4 cups, so I'm just gonna add 1 more cup of powdered sugar. Luckily, I stopped though. Okay, I'm gonna sift the rest of this in there. I smell my cake, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Still got some cooking to do. I'm gonna finish sifting this. Happy Saturday to y'all. It is truly a beautiful day where I am located. Okay. Put my little sieve to the side. And then I'm actually going to get my mixer back out. Same chocolate from earlier. Okay, now it's time to do the thing. Just grab something so I can get around this bowl in here. All right, so getting back to it. Get out of there. It got stuck, y'all. Okay. So now and this is the frosting. I'm just testing out some frosting, see if it works. Powdered sugar, butter, heavy cream. Oh, it's coming together, y'all. It smells so creamy, chocolatey. Chocolatey. It's looking creamy, but it's smelling chocolate. Okay. Looking kind of together here. All right. I'm finna see how this tastes. This is the way it looks on the inside. I still got to do a lot of folding in some of the extra ingredients here on the side. I don't want anything to go to waste. All right, so let me taste this. You gotta taste it. Not bad. not bad at all. So it's also a little cold, I guess, because of the heavy cream. Okay, y'all. All right. So I just substituted essentially some heavy cream for milk. This turned out to be pretty good. Okay, I'll have to write this down eventually and just kind of tell y'all this one, but mix it a little bit more. And now I'm just gonna put it to the side, put a little plastic over it, and I'm gonna put it in the fridge so it can cool. Getting as much off as possible. Happy Saturday to y'all. If you're just now joining me, I am making chocolate cake this morning. And what I just got done with is just some frosting for the top of the cake. I experimented with this, so you're not gonna see that below. And I know I'm eating up the chocolate. I'm gonna put this to the side. Y'all, sometimes you just got to experiment a little bit in the kitchen, you know? So you can see like what it's gonna taste like. All right, let me put some of this stuff up and then prepare to get our chocolate cake out of the oven. I just made them and I put them in like two little cake pans, like little small ones. This is a very small recipe, so it only has it's really good for like a small family. So if you're a family of like 1 to maybe 4, I think this recipe is perfect. Let me clean up a little bit, put some plastic on top of this, put it in the fridge, and just kind of prepare so I can get the rest of my ingredients out. But before that, let me take a sip of water. Y'all, put some lemon in your water. Listen, life is so much better with a little lemon in your water. I also have some strawberries too, but that's because I had some frozen strawberries in my freezer. And I was like, it's time to start using these frozen strawberries. So I use my frozen strawberries, baby, and I add into my water along with a splash of lemon juice. Okay, let me check on this. Check up on it. Ooh, it's smelling so good. Plastic. I'm gonna have to do something with this drawer. Because when I tell you, I always get that drawer stuck over there. And I'm like, girl, you got too much stuff in there. And then every time I actually think about cleaning it out, I'm in the middle of doing something and then I never get to it. Has that ever happened to y'all? Because that drawer keeps getting stuck. You probably seen the last like 4 or 5 episodes where it for real just got stuck. Happy Black History Month to everybody and anybody who has joined. Happy February 2022. Last year was a leap year. No leap year this year, my darling. It's so interesting because I was in LA on leap year last year. And then 2 weeks later, we went into lockdown. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Was that last year or the year before last year? Was it the year before last year? Y'all, I'm getting my years mixed up. The last couple of years just ran together. So in 2020, that was a leap year. 2021 was not a leap year. This year is not a leap year. But in February 29th, 2020, I was actually in California at the time. And so I was on a little bit of a vacation. And so when the lockdown happened, 2 weeks later, it was just so interesting that we thought that we was going to be at home for 2 weeks. 2 weeks 2 weeks will never sound the same anymore. Ever. Okay, chocolate cake check time. I think this one is ready. Okay, chocolate cake number 1 is ready. I'm just gonna sit it here, give it some time to cool and wipe this down. I try to keep it neat, clean, clean as I go. That's what my mama taught me. She's like, girl, clean as you go. So I try to keep it, nice and neat for the most part. It works sometimes, but sometimes, y'all, sometimes it don't. Sometimes I'm just in the kitchen and I'm whipping, seasoning that chicken. Finger licking. I'm joking. I love that one though. That one's cute. I love the little TikTok and like Instagram thingies that people do. They're always so funny and so entertaining. Okay, so first chocolate cake. It's here. Don't want to touch it for too long because it's been in the oven. Here we go. Here we are. This is our first one. I don't know if I'll be taking it out because it is so warm, y'all. I'm going to be looking over here to the side, but you see how beautiful it has turned out thus far. We have a beautiful chocolate cake. It's sinking a little bit here in the center. If you want to make sure that your cake is done, let me make sure. You want to use a toothpick or you can use a fork, whatever you got. Stick it right in the center. And if it comes out clean, you're good. Okay? So we're good to go with this cake, at least this component of it. Once it actually cools off, so give it some time, maybe like, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. I'll then take it out, let it cool a little bit longer, and then I'll add my frosting later. Because I don't want the frosting on at the same time where it's hot, because then it's going to like be all melty, and I don't want melty frosting, okay? Grab my other piece of cake. If you can see right here to the side, y'all, I tried to get this one out. I was looking at it. I wasn't trying to get it out. I knew it wasn't ready. But look at what I did to it on the side. Look at that little dent. Little dent right there on the side. But these are my 2 chocolate cakes. If you want the recipe, I put it down in the ingredients below. I'm going to go ahead and head probably over to my Instagram, go live so that I can kind of finish off the remainder of this and maybe even put some frosting on for the gram. So head on over there if you want to see more. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and then give this video a thumbs up. I also want to know, how do you make your chocolate cake? I enjoy doing this. I love cooking at home. I really do think it's a form of therapy for me. So with that being said, be sure that you follow more here if you want to see more recipes and road trip Trish information. Happy Black History Month, y'all. I'm so excited about my chocolate cake. I think I'm more excited about putting the frosting on that I just made. So that's why you need to head over to Instagram so you can check it out, all right? Thank you so much again for joining me this morning. Happy Saturday. Happy beautiful Black History Month. Have a great, fantastic day, y'all. Bye.